I'm Brand Milosevic. I'm part of the Strativation team, which I will introduce you to. But before we do that, I just need to sort some things out. So, accent, British, English, but I am from what used to be a country called Yugoslavia. So I'm from Belgrade, from Serbia. So have been in London for 25 years, hence the accent. So I hope now we are all clear on that so you can follow my talk. So I've been working in the UK charity sector for over 20 years. I've been leading digital for a very long time. I know I don't look it, but I have been around. So Georgian, Irish, and I go a long way back. One of my first jobs was in oneworld.net, which I believe is Rebel Canada, in Canadian version of it. So my first visit to this country was in 2003. I was in Montreal, doing some training on how to do online radio. And this is before YouTube, people. So this is dial-up connections, right? So this is a bit about me. So you see the rest of the interesting stuff about me, and we can catch up during the lunch if you want to know anything more. Right, and today I'm here with Strativation, right? Is that the next slide? Yes. Strativation partners. So there's 5 of us. So this is my North American home, but we are a consultancy trying to help non-profit sector to basically resolve 20th century problems with 21st century tools. And what we want to do today is talk you through our process, give a bit of a taste for it. So we've trimmed down our presentation to the minimum so we can get you to do some fun work. So strap up, it's going to be a fun ride. But before we do that, let me just introduce my colleagues. So, Man, over here, which a lot of you will know. Then we have Ben, the big boss of Strativation. And a lot of engaging active people will know him. Then we have Ryan over there, which like the queen of Canadian non-profit sector. And Eric, who will make himself known all the way through this. So he will do a lot of interruptions, I can guarantee. So, but they're all fun, so please ride with it. So what we want to do today is give you a small taste of our approach in how you build a strategy while still being innovative. So often we think strategy is a boring admin process and being innovative doesn't really go with it. So we're going to give you a bit of a taste of how you can do both. And so it's kind of the experience of our design process that we want to use with our clients. And what is really important is we also want you to end up with some actions you can take away. So I assume you've had an email from Austin about the question that we asked around issues that you have to deal with right now and you need to kind of find solutions to. So the actions will be related to that. So it's really that is the approach that we want to take to this, is helping you figure out what's going wrong, kind of use your collective minds to do it, build a picture of what it should look like, and then build up an action plan of how to do it. And that's the kind of trickiest bit because we all like to. So this is the process. So our process kind of has roughly 4 bits. Just to kind of give you a bit of a background, it is very much inspired by human-centered design, agile principles, and some kind of strategy building frameworks from corporate sector and non-profit sector, etc. So it's a kind of mishmash of all the different things that we built up using our non-profit experience to build something that kind of can work for you. So it starts with foundations building in terms of the process, who are the stakeholders, who are we involving in the process, defining where you are. So this is the kind of problem definition. So what are the issues that we are dealing with right now? Then building the picture where you need to be. So this is building a vision together. So you're going to get a sense of those two. And then building a roadmap of how to get there. The arrows show it's an iterative process. So we will go to where we need to be and how to get there, try it out, see if it works. Some of the ideas will drop off because they don't work, and that's okay. I think that is a kind of prioritization piece of this process is very important, and you will have the opportunity to experience that as well. So you see where we are, where we are going to be spending our time in the next bit. And the last introduction bit I want to leave you with, and if you take anything away from today, this is kind of the main thing I want you to start kind of thinking about, is when we think about transformation, we always need to think about people, process, and technology. So we're at a technology conference. We are bringing in technology into our organizations. Bringing in new technology is not going to sort our problems out. We do need to think about people and process. When I say people, I mean culture, I mean skill sets, structures, mindset, etc. So all those things will be important. And process in terms of how we are with each other, how we work, how we plan. I heard you talk about silos this morning. Definitely one of the things that is a problem for the sector. And I can definitely tell you in the UK, this is what we deal with a lot. So it sounds like it's a global issue. So that's all from me. I had to kind of rattle through that very quickly. If anything I said you want to know more about, please do come at the end and we'll talk about it. So that's all from us in terms of introduction. Now it's over to you. So we'll guide you through this process. Just a few provisos, just a few things to mention. Embrace the pace. We will get you to discuss and talk to each other. We will have to interrupt you because we have a shorter time than we thought. And anyway, it's a very, very short time. In real life, we would give you much more time to talk and discuss. So I know that when I do evaluations of these workshops, usually people say, I wish I had more time. So just go with it. There won't be, but always remember you have each other. You can always continue these discussions later. Try to let everyone contribute. This is we're going to put you in pairs, so just make sure that you speak equally. You spend equal time speaking. Assume positive intent. Now, pay attention to the process. It may be useful to you because if you do, and you will have the slides, you may want to try this out with your teams just to see how it works. It's a really exciting process. I've done it a few times. No judgment when we go to kind of ideas. So just kind of don't overthink it. Just do it. And the biggest announcement is we are working on a Miro board. So take your computers out. Type in the bit.ly link. No computer. So who doesn't have
your
a computer?
Phones will work just fine.
Quickly go to
your phone.
Yeah.
Your phones work just fine.
The phone's going to work just fine, and you can pair up with people who do have computers. Miro board. Who is familiar with the Miro board and feels comfortable with it? Right. Okay. So let's spend a little bit of time on the Miro boards. I've
said that she loves the Miro board.
Oh,
Passion.
you're my woman. Right, so the Miro board is, if you go to the link, has everyone, so this is it. It can feel a bit overwhelming when you can zoom in and zoom out, so it can feel nauseating at the start. So I'll just give you a few minutes to get used to it. You're gonna land on here and just click on any post-it and say hello. So just introduce yourself. Hi, I am from such and such organization. This is what we do, however you want. You can introduce yourself however you want. But that's the...
You're revealing a lot about yourself by which color you choose.
Yeah, we will judge you, although that's a violation of our rules, Eric. Yeah. So... Oh, the bit, yeah.
There you go.
So I'll just give you a little bit of time to get used to it. So it can feel a bit, but when COVID started, this was my life every day. So the reason why we wanted to do it on the Miro board is because it's a really good way of keeping track of what of everything that's been said and written. You have a written record of what's happened, so it's much better than taking photos of post-its on the wall.
Mm.
Right, how are we getting on?
Yeah, people seem to be having fun inside there. I can see lots of clicking on things, which is very exciting.
One thing to just say, I know if you're on your computer or your phone, you will have emails and WhatsApp messages and Teams messages and all that. You're better off not looking at them because we're going to move fairly fast. So you're going to lose track if you start looking at your emails. But obviously you can do it. I'm not going to judge. We said that, didn't we? Yes. Right. Are we okay to move on?
They'll keep playing around with things, but I think we're good to start moving into the next thing.
Shall we move on? Right, so we're starting the problem definition I told you about before. So if you move to the right, you will see some arrows on the Miro board. So if you move to the right, Ben is demonstrated where, and you have another set of post-its. So this is the one where you can answer the question, what are the main issues you're facing in your job right now where you need new ideas and ideas how to resolve them? Sorry, you need new ideas on how to resolve them. It's all written down there. So a few of you have sent this to us already following that email. So those post-its, do you want to zoom in on the ones that we already have? So those post-its are already there. So how can we spend up campaign ideation to launch without sacrificing quality and brand identity? How can we speed up campaign ideation to launch without sacrificing quality and brand identity? Digital engagement and fundraising has plateaued and not growing as it used to. Social media ads, Google ads, Meta ads haven't been returning the ROI that they used to.
If anyone is struggling with Miro, also you can just like tweak your ears or go like this, and Monterey will like circle around.
Or you can just wave.
Do you should the timer be going right now? No, should the timer be going right now? Yeah.
Yeah. So you have 5 minutes for this. So the time you can see the timer in the top. You can see the timer in the top right. So the question is, what are the issues you have in your organization right now where you need some new ideas to resolve them? And those are some examples that people have already sent to us in advance. If you are struggling with the Miro board, then find someone who is kind of has a computer and can write down your question.
If the phone version is making you squirrely, you just look around and see somebody with a computer has one and make new friends. It's a bit simpler on the computer.
Let's go over to the mic.
Breaking down silos between fundraising and marketing, that is a common one. Right, it's about 3 minutes to go, so. Oh, thank you. Rebuilding a positive culture. I love that. That's my type of thing.
All right, just about 2 more minutes.
Phone version is not just a phone up. It's not the phone version. You look now.
Oh, building trust in the new leadership role. I love that one. Yeah.
Retaining and obtaining individual members.
Yeah. About a minute to go. How are we getting on? Good? Yeah, if you have a question but you haven't go up on the board, do raise your hand and we'll find the way to get up there. Or wiggle your ears, as Eric was saying, that maybe a bit more. Yeah, I've seen that.
Data flow and its numerous breakdowns. Data flow and its numerous breakdowns, about 30 seconds.
Capacity issues with juggling fundraising and marketing. Okay.
Digital strategy and innovation for integration.
That sounds like your thing. Right, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's us done. So, well done. We have some interesting things. We were shouting out some stuff, but there is some stuff around leadership. So a variety of things there. Very specific things around CRM implementation, something about annual receipts, and then something about leadership, culture. So basically, thinking about those 3 bubbles that I told you about, we kind of covered everything. So well done. Right, so the next bit is a very exciting bit. We're going to use AI to do some grouping of our post-its into themes. Don't expect too much, it's AI. Whatever people tell you, this is still not going to take our jobs entirely. So let's see what themes can AI give us. Are you doing this?
There you go. You ready to go?
Oh, right, you've done it like that. Okay. So, identify main issues. Start by thinking, oh no, AI is trying to do solutions here. What is he doing there?
It just said takeaways and ideas. Do I do something different?
No, it was, oh, okay.
It's fine. I mean, these are all topics.
Okay.
For our new donors. Yep.
So, the first one is our instruction, ignore it. Speed up campaign ideation. So this is just stuff, it's just, no, we've done this wrong. Right, okay, so deep breath. AI failed us. So what we're going to do now is, if we go to let's go back to the board.
Sure.
And so let's just put, let's bring together themes. So everyone who is on the Miro board and comfortable to do it, have a look and start grouping post-its where it makes sense. So I was saying, it seems to me there is something about culture and something about leadership. There are kind of few bits talking about that. There is something about technology implementation. So just, we're doing crowd grouping, it's called, officially. So just move post-its around and we're going to give them names. So we're trying to get themes, because obviously there's like loads of topics here, so we just want to theme them. So we have integrating Raiser's Edge with engaging networks, campaign topics. Can we start giving them titles?
Yep.
And anyone else, just give titles to these things.
Yeah, so we have a cluster up here, people combining some things that have to do with campaign ideation and kind of campaigning and how that's going and looking up new ideas that might come from that. So if you have a Post-it note that represents that, we can kind of get that clustered up here. We have building trust in a new leadership, breaking down silos in fundraising, digital strategy and innovation, right? So we're thinking like leadership and future planning, what some of those things might be. How can we appropriately integrate culture and fundraising, right? So we're thinking about integration, so we can start grouping things there.
Silo? There is a silo theme, I think, definitely. Let's just call it. Just give it a name.
Yeah. Okay.
There is definitely something about donor acquisition. There was a few on those. So donor numbers going down, acquiring new donors. There was something about ROI, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, so we have a leadership and culture headline.
Yeah. Donor acquisition.
We have new campaign
Okay.
tactics. Great.
Okay, annual tax receipt, that is related to data flow. That's helpful. Someone's selected the whole board.
I know, I'm trying to get it stopped.
We have capacity prioritization, capacity and prioritization. Okay. So we have another topic.
Right, while we're doing this, just have a think about which theme would be of interest to you, because what we're doing next is we're going to pair you up, and then you're going to start thinking about this in more detail, breaking down these issues in more detail, in order to then think about the vision of where you want to go. So think about which one is the topic that you want to do. So I can see you guys are in threes, great. If you want to stay like that, but if you twos or threes, it's fine. Just find someone to work with and start negotiating which topic you want to pick up. So shall we call out topic? Oh, we have a few more minutes.
So we have 2.5 minutes, so we'll kind of like keep collecting. And so this is part of the process, right, to kind of identify those like trends. So if you kind of see a big picture trend that's emerging out of some of the groupings, we can start to identify that as we go here. So right now we have new campaign tactics, we have building capacity, and we have leadership and culture as 3 top trends as we're kind of grouping things together.
Do we have donor stuff?
Yeah, we can get donor stuff.
Yeah.
We'll do donors and fundraising as another topic.
No, I think it's specific donor acquisition. There's
okay.
a lot on that. Yeah.
A classic.
Any other topics that you are seeing here that we are missing out on? Shout out. Yeah.
Feel a topic that's up there, or that you see synergies that we haven't named?
All right, so we got about 90 seconds of creating more trends and topics.
Data.
Data. Thank you.
Good one. There was something on data, but it's kind of a mix of things. There was
We can do this
data
integration.
and annual tax receipting, data flow. And
integrating,
is
yep.
does that work? Or,
Data flow. Yep.
I mean, we could just call that data, and then you can add more when
Yep.
we go to the next bit.
100%.
Yes.
Oh, wow, that's a fun. There we go. I got it. We got 60 seconds left.
60 seconds, guys. Any other themes? Speak now.
Yeah.
If you created a sticky that hasn't been grouped yet, and you think it belongs in one of these groups, you can also just go ahead and drag and drop it over there. It'll be part of the process.
Right, 30 seconds. So we have data, donor acquisition, leadership and culture,
Yep.
and technology implementation. Was that?
Those are we have 5 right now. Yeah. Donor acquisition, leadership and culture, building capacity, new campaign tactics, and data.
So have a think which one is the one you like. Right, shall we just put a stop? We're done here.
Yep.
Right, shall we do a shake up?
Let's do the shake up.
That was very tense, so.
All right, I'm responsible for this shakeup. Sometimes I work with children, and sometimes I drink too much coffee. All right, so we're gonna shake your right hand out 5 times, and your left hand 5 times. Your right foot 5, left foot 5. If you are feeling able and you are able to stand up and do this, you are deeply encouraged. If you decide to do it from your chair or wherever, I see Ryan B. popping up. So excited. All right, so it's 5, 5, 5, 5, and then 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3. You get it.
Yeah.
Okay, and
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
thank you so much for
Right, so the first thing is you have, let's make it 7 minutes, because we are trying to condense this. So let's do 7 minutes. Choose the issue out of those 4. So shall we just recap what they were?
Absolutely.
So it was donor acquisition, campaigns, campaign tactics, building capacity, leadership and culture, and data. So choose one of those topics as a team or pair, and analyze it. So basically, just think about what else is underneath this, what else is going on here, why is this an issue? Thinking, when you do the analysis, think about the 3 bubbles. So think about the idea of, are there any processes that are making this more difficult? Is it the issue with our mindset and culture and skills? Or is it the issue with the technology we have? Is it the issue with data flows? So think about 3 bubbles when you do your analysis. All right? Any questions? Is that clear?
So let's say your team was interested in looking at the data trends. So all you would do is you would just grab this bucket of items here under data. And once you have it all, you're just going to copy it. And then you can bring it over to the next board. So we're going to be moving to the yellow board now. And so your team will just drop it over here. And now you have your little set of data. And that's where you're going to kind of work on analyzing the problem.
But if you find that difficult, it's fine to just work on
that. Is also true.
Yes. So it's not going to hurt if we just have a little messy mirror board.
Anyone looking for a teammate, someone to discuss a theme with? Is anyone on collab partnership? Great.
And you have 7 minutes.
Whoa. Oh, there's a love in there. Excellent.
People here, get to know somebody.
Right, so choose your topics and the analysis around the 3 bubbles. People, process, technology. Thinking about any of those things that may be contributing to that problem happening. 7 minutes.
So accustomed, violent, but when you name your price, it only high times. I never believed what you sold to me. It's wrong, I know it's wrong, I know it's wrong. But if I walk, you only fight time. And maybe you dive down to entice me.
So just to restate the task, you're taking that particular area or problem or question, you're breaking it down into people, process, and technology, right? The constituent sort of components of that theme, right? That are needed to try and address it, right? And use your thinking to add those thoughts in your add information, right?
Capital S. Cool. All right, folks, you got about 90 seconds, and then we'll start designing solutions. Yeah.
Do we want to encourage them to add anything in the mural board itself? Reiterate that, or just letting that?
They can do anything. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So starting the conversation.
Cool. What's up? Yeah. And so we're going to, so we have 23 minutes left in our time slots. Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. You're talking a lot of additional.
50 seconds. Start to wrap up your thoughts and ideas. You're probably going to want to keep talking. That's how this is supposed to go. So that's totally okay. But we're still going to cut you off.
I mean, in real life, this would take proper time. This is just to give you a taster.
Yeah. Yeah. We're just doing a simulation. Yeah. Yeah.
Shall we move on to the slide? Right. So pay attention to me now, please. Not to Eric. Right, so the next step is, so now we've done a little bit of discussion around the problem and what may be leading to that problem or what is kind of contributing to that problem. Now we need to move on to designing the vision. So the reason why this bit, it's very important to talk about the problem, because if you try to make people to be solutions focused without letting them let out what's bothering them, it doesn't really work. So people need to be able to talk about issues that bother them first. And you need to kind of feel courageous enough to let them, especially if you're a manager, to let them say it. So the next bit is then about designing the vision together. So this is the next step around saying, so now we know what the issues are, let's not dwell on it too much and kind of get into the spiral of despair, which is what I call it. And let's kind of think about the sunny beach that we're going to end up on. So one way of doing that is, and this is inspired by the human-centered design, is to use this formula to create your vision statement. So the vision statement starts with how may we. So shift from stating your problem. I'll give you some examples. This is just to give you the formula first. To description of the ideal. So it's really, this description of the ideal is going to be a hard task. I know this from experience, because it's much easier to name the problem than to say what you want to happen instead. But this is why it's a really, really important part of our strategy building, because this vision, we need to build it together. We need to believe in it together. So description of the ideal, so that impact on beneficiaries. So as nonprofits, it's really important that we always have at the back of our mind, who are we doing this for? Why do we exist? Now, today we only have 7 minutes for this, so I'm totally happy if you miss out the last bit. But in real time, in real life, we would definitely look into this. So your task for the next 7 minutes, I'll give you some examples before we move on to, but your task will be to do, how may we move from problems with data acquisition, shall we move on to them? So shift from the situation where our donor numbers are dwindling, which is obviously already has been raised, to a situation where our supported community is thriving, for example, that's the vision, so that we can do more to save the planet for an environmental organization that would be. So this is like an invented one. Now, this is something you can do, but it is too top line, because there is, if we think about 3 bubbles, there's much more underneath this statement than that. So one of the kind of just right statements would be this, which is, what I'm expecting is that under that big statement, there's going to be many smaller statements which are addressing these kind of specific issues. So single sign-on. So how may we shift from a single universal opt-in to supporter center opt-in, so that supporters will receive the information they need and stay engaged for longer. You were talking about lifetime value this morning. So that is the kind of stuff that is just right. For 7 minutes, whatever you do, I'm gonna love it. So it's totally fine, but this is just to kind of give you a bit of does that make sense? If you move to the right again, you will have these examples on the mirror boards.
And so what you can see is you can see how
grab
these Post-it notes, and they are just repeated. There's like 500 Post-it notes here. So just you can grab a Post-it note. You got the prompt right here. You can go ahead and fill it in, and we're rocking and rolling for 7 minutes.
Is everyone clear on this? If you're not, do wave, or we can come over and explain again. Do you understand the formula? Give me a nod. Just give me something. Okay, go. 7 minutes starting now.
There you go.
So, if you haven't taken the cities for your problem area, you're trying to get it down to 1 grade. Your problem is length, right? Your problem is length, description of the ideal, fix into that problem, and then get impact, right?
There we go. All right. People are grabbing things. Go back to the what? Right here on the podium. I think it's better on the slide. That? Okay. But what was your feedback right there?
I'm telling you, I thought you just said.
No, we'll
Yeah. It's all.
Oh, look how cute you look.
Both one.
Hey, we got some Halmeri savings up on the board. Ooh. All right, folks, about 2 minutes. Keep your conversations going. They sound great. All right. Let me know when you're done and I'll work on it.
Right, it's 45 seconds.
Can I refresh?
So we're expecting to solve all of these problems for the back office space within the next like 15 minutes.
Totally, yeah. They'll all be solved, every single one of them. All right, folks, that is your time. We got a bunch of really great items up here. Back over to Bronnie.
Yeah. So I did have a look at some statements, and there are some that really speak to me. There was what was the theme thing? I love the theme thing. Hang on. There's this one.
Yeah, I got it. Oh, this.
Shift from the status quo to an empowered, inclusive team structure.
So that our
Lovely.
culture can flourish and the full potential of each individual is realized.
Yes.
Yes.
Lovely.
That's
what
a
we
big
want for
one.
our
That's like a
sector.
top line one, just so we're all on the same page, but we
Oh,
love
yeah.
it. We love to see it.
Yes. Right. So now we haven't got the time, and I'm really sorry, but I'm not going to allow you to vote. I mean, the whole global world is voting this year, but you're going to have your vote when it comes, right? But today we don't have, unfortunately we don't have time to do it, but it's a really important part of the process, as I always say to my clients, because what we've done now, we created a lots of visionary statements and the energy is super high and we are very, very happy about this. But what we need to get to is to one thing we're all going to do together, which means some negotiation, and it means dropping some of our favorite ideas. So it means a mini grieving process when we do that. So normally this is the process we would go through. We would vote on the one how may we statement we're going to commit ourselves to. So what I invite you to do right now is to do this in your mind. So out of all the things we discussed today, what am I going to commit to? So just do that quietly. And then also in your mind, just delete all the other post-its that you had. Scrunch them up, throw them away. So the only one I want you to leave with, that I want you to have in your mind, is the one how may we statement you want to focus on. So that would be the voting. We would do it democratically, but at the moment it's just going to be on individual basis, right? Have we all done this in our heads? Right. Moving on. So we are coming to the end of this process. So what is really important now is, now that you have that how may we statement, we promise that we're going to get to action. So we've done some intellectual gymnastics. Now let's do some action. So what are we going to do about it? So in your own notebook, on your own post-it, in your phones, wherever you want to write it down, or you can put it on the mirror board. Obviously, I always like to see these things, but it's private. Write down your answer to this question. What is the one thing, however small, that you can do, that I can do, or like that's how you read it, that you can do in the next month to help your team or organization move towards the vision of your chosen how may we statement. So what's the one thing, however small? And I'm totally happy if it means I'm going to book a meeting with a colleague from fundraising to talk about how we're going to work together. So that is an action that is going to take you to the vision of de-siloing your relationship with fundraising. So it's totally allowed. So you have that is one bit that we're going to do. So I'll just give you a few minutes to do that. Everyone understands what you're doing, yeah? I think you're all thinking, so I'm just going to leave you to it. No, just... Oh, right.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you know the action you'll do when we finish. I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to go into that. And then, as we finish, I'm going to do
And we'll give you about probably 90 more seconds to think of that one action item. So you're sitting there, you're looking at your statement you made.
Right, we're going to have to wrap. Do you have your action points? And then just turn around to the person next to you and agree to be accountable to each other for that action points. So send each other an email in a month's time and check if you've done it. Right, well, that was intense. We're going to have to wrap now, I'm afraid. How's everyone feeling? Yeah? Brains fried? That does happen. Right, so can I just have 5 more minutes and then we're going to close this. So just to give you a little bit of a wrap of just to remind you what we've done today. Because this was very, very fast. I totally appreciate it. Sorry. So the title of this session was about anyone being strategic and innovative. So how do we demonstrate this today? By the work you've done. So our definition of strategy, it's a collaborative process where we define the problem, we design solutions, we prioritize the solution. You managed to get away with that today, but not in real life. We have an action plan. And then obviously a very important part that you're all familiar with, we optimize. So stuff that we came up with today doesn't necessarily mean is the right stuff. So you can kind of do a hypothesis, test it out a bit, see how it works, and then go to the next how may we statement, which may be a better solution to your problem. The innovation is, we've been talking about, it's basically about finding a new solution to a problem, whether that is a product. So I use the word product here as a kind of umbrella term for anything that you're offering to your supporters. So whether that is kind of a donation or a Christmas campaign, etc. So this kind of it has a lot of ways of being used. It's not just a commercial term. So whether it's a product or a new way of working, and starts with the need to meet a user or audience need. That is when you're developing this new thing, that you need to kind of think about your audience. So bringing the two together, we start with audiences, we think about the problem, we find a solution, we prioritize, we create a roadmap, and we implement. So that is basically summarizing what I've just said. And then I'll hand over to Eric for next steps.
All right. Round of applause for Bronnie, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't she fabulous? So Bronnie has just condensed down into our shortened version of a shortened session, given time constraints, what would generally be a much more longer and spacious process. And we would love to guide you and your team through a demo of what that, as I said, more elongated and long-standing process would be. Here is a QR code. It's very large on the screen, so you can shoot a photo of it with your phone. So take your phones out and take a shot of that. There's also a bit.ly right below it, Stratovation-demo. This, as I said, will be an opportunity to do some of this iterative process with some other members of your team. We would love to come in and give you a taste of the much wider, elongated process for change. So go ahead and QR code or bit.ly, sign up, chat with us further. We'll do a bit of discovery, and we will actually do this a short demo session with your team so that you guys can start to have some of these conversations internally in a more spacious and elongated way doesn't have quite the time crunch that we had today. So again, a massive thank you to Bronnie, ladies and gentlemen, and folks, pardon my...
And just one more ask. One more ask at the end of this. It would really be helpful to us if you just share with us your one main takeaway, top thoughts you have. If you can put it on a mirror board somewhere at the end, it would be really helpful. So what is the top? You can have a chat amongst yourselves and just leave that with us. But thank you so much for your patience and really going with it. I know it's not easy. It was very fast-paced and loads of new things, but you've done a great job. I'm very, very, very pleased with you.